The rise and fall of religions, 1800 to 2025. 1800s, the dawn of the modern era. The year is 1800 and the world is a very different place. At the top of the religious hierarchy stands Christianity, with 240 million believers worldwide. But look out, right behind, Islam is rising fast, already approaching 100 million followers and poised for explosive growth. Meanwhile, in the heart of Asia, Hinduism and Buddhism continue their millennia-old traditions, deeply embedded in vast populations. Chinese folk religions also hold strong, shaping the spiritual beliefs of millions. But what about the non-believers? Atheism and agnosticism are barely a blip on the radar. The world is overwhelmingly religious. But will that always be the case? 1900s, a century of explosive growth. Fast forward 100 years, and the world is transforming at an unprecedented speed. Industrialization, colonization, and global migrations have sent populations skyrocketing, and religion is expanding right alongside them. Christianity surpasses an astonishing 500 million followers, solidifying its dominance. But watch out, Islam is accelerating, growing rapidly across Africa, the Middle East, and Asia. Hinduism and Buddhism remain deeply influential, while Chinese folk religions continue their steady presence. And here's something new. Atheism and agnosticism are creeping in. Political shifts, scientific breakthroughs, and social revolutions are starting to reshape spiritual beliefs. Could the world's first signs of secularism be emerging? 1950, the Great Religious Shift. Now we've entered the mid-20th century, a time of war, innovation, and dramatic social change. The world is barely recognizable compared to a century ago. Christianity has now crossed the 1 billion mark. That's right, 1 in 3 people on Earth identify as Christian. But Islam is rising even faster, gaining tens of millions of followers every decade. Could it catch up? Meanwhile, Hinduism surpasses 400 million believers, while Buddhism and Chinese folk religions continue their steady influence. But here's something shocking. Atheism and agnosticism are rising at an unprecedented rate. Wars, revolutions, and new philosophies are leading millions to question old traditions. The world's religious landscape is changing, but the biggest shifts are yet to come. 2000s, the new millennium, the battle for the top. Welcome to the 21st century. It's the era of globalization, technology, and massive demographic shifts. Christianity remains at the top, now with over 2 billion followers. But Islam? It's growing at nearly twice the rate. Hinduism has surpassed 1 billion believers, standing as the 3rd largest religion in the world. Buddhism, Sikhism, and Chinese folk religions continue their influence. But the biggest wild card? The explosive rise of the non-religious. That's right. Agnosticism and atheism have now become a global force. Hundreds of millions of people around the world now identify as religiously unaffiliated. Could this trend continue? Could a future world be dominated by non-believers? 2025, the future of faith. The next great shift? And here we are, the present and beyond. The numbers are in, and the battle for the world's largest religion is heating up. Christianity still leads the way, but Islam is closing in fast. If current trends continue, Islam is set to cross 2 billion followers very soon. Could we see a religious power shift in our lifetime? Hinduism remains a dominant force, while Buddhism, Sikhism, and Chinese folk religions continue their cultural influence. But here's the real question. What about the unaffiliated? The rise of secularism is more apparent than ever, and if trends continue, the non-religious could surpass even some of the major faiths in the coming decades. Who will dominate in 2050? Will Christianity hold its ground? Will Islam rise to take the top spot? Will secularism continue its rapid expansion? Or will we see the resurgence of ancient faiths in new ways? One thing is for sure, the story of religion is far from over. Like and subscribe for more data-driven insights.